Welcome to the Clinical Trials podcast series by Npower Clinics, where we explore the fascinating world of Npower's research and clinical trials initiatives. In this series, we will delve into the intricate details of research and clinical trial. In this episode, we will cover an overview of how and why Npower is leveraging its patient management capabilities to enter the research and clinical trial space. In episode 2, we will cover the basics of research and clinical trials. By episode 3, we will be having an educational discussion about acronyms and definitions. At our wrap-up in episode 4, we will end with an explanation of the key components of Npower's roles and responsibilities and how the business model plays out. Join us in this exciting journey as we explore the world of clinical trials, bringing you the expertise of Steve McCauley, Chairman and CEO of Npower Clinics. Npower is an integrated healthcare company with multidisciplinary clinics, a Canadian medical device company, and has launched its first clinical research site, becoming a site management organization in Dallas, Texas. Npower is a leader in integrated healthcare research solutions and is reshaping the model for patient-first wellness. My name is Regina from the Pulse IR by Phoebe team, and I will be your host. Welcome, Steve. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you, Regina. Thanks for having me on this show.
Well, we have a lot to cover here, so I just wanted to get started with, why did you decide to do a podcast on this particular topic? Why a series? How is this important?
It's coming based on a lot of feedback from our followers and shareholders and investors. And, what we've really, discovered, because we have a fairly large concentration of Canadian investors, there tends to be maybe confusion or even a lack of understanding of how kind of the clinical trial and research, space or segment of healthcare actually works, particularly in the United States. Because generally speaking, it's a little bit different in Canada, and we just don't seem to have as much exposure to big pharma. And with that in mind, I felt, what better way to use this platform to create kind of an educational series and really go back to, the basics, the ABCs of what big pharma is all about, and all of the segments that feed into it. So I thought this would be a great forum, do it in a podcast format, and then we can circulate this widely to our followers.
Yeah, I really like that. And we have so much to unpack here, so much to uncover. But I did want to get started into why. The why behind, why is Npower entering the research and clinical trial space?
We've been working on this initiative for at least a year now. And, I've said to our followers over the last couple of years, we would definitely be turning our attention back to U.S. healthcare. We took some time to work in Canadian initiatives, but if you recall our past and where we started, we've always been a clinic management or patient management organization, initially started in the United States. So this is really where our core strength is. What we like about this segment is just how large it is. It's kind of like top of the food chain in healthcare, particularly in the United States, when you think about these massive pharmaceutical companies who have a voracious appetite for data in order to get their new drug or their new medical device FDA approved and into market. They have a huge windfall on the other side if that approval comes through. And our ability to manage patients, medical doctors, and researchers in the process, really, I think it plays to our strengths. And that's what our executive team and our board feel is the right direction for us.
Right. Okay. So I see the why. Now just walk us through a little bit of the how behind Npower here. How is it leveraging its patient management capabilities to enter that space?
Well, what we've done is, we've figured out where we sit kind of in this ecosystem. You think of big pharma at the very top. They're the sponsors. They're the ones who have the big budgets and are paying for the trials and paying for the patient interactions. Then you have another level called CROs, the contract research organizations, because most parts of clinical trials nowadays are actually fully outsourced. And then you go down to the site. And that's where we play, the site management organization. So you partner with medical centers. They're going to be medical doctors who typically are specialists, but also have previous research experience. And you leverage their patient roster And what we do is we play that sort of middleman between the sponsor, the CRO, and the patients and the site themselves, and help the whole process go through as smoothly as possible.
Okay, so I'm really excited for this series. There's going to be a lot to uncover here. Thank you for your time here today with us, Steve, and thank you for joining us in this insightful conversation. We hope that you gained a valuable insight into the critical role of research and clinical trials in advancing medical treatment and technologies. Thank you, Steve, for sharing your expertise. And thank you for listening to the Npower Clinics podcast. Stay tuned for episode 2, 3, and 4. I'm your host, Regina, from Pulse IR by Fobi. For more information, visit pulseir.com, and see you next time.